Hey, howdy, hey, how is everybody doing? Now, all Disney characters have had some iconic attribute or look to them that makes them recognizable worldwide, like Ariel's bright red hair, Dumbo's signature big ears, or Belle's elegant yellow ball gown. Well, it might surprise you to hear, but some of our most favorite characters looked very different before they appeared on screen. Our trailblazer, Queen Elsa, was one of those characters who went through various changes to her look. Originally, Elsa was written as a villain based off The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. Elsa's first look was actually based off the actress Bette Midler. She was originally drawn as an older, more confident, and even kind of creepy character. She had these stunning gowns with a rather large snowflake crown placed perfectly on the top of her head. To contrast the beautiful white gown Elsa was supposed to wear, the animators made her with ice blue skin. Eventually, as the storyline developed more and the song Let It Go came into the picture, Elsa's look began to change and soften. Elsa was then given jet black hair styled in a crazy updo. Her look had a punk rock 80s vibe to it. It wasn't until much later that the creators then opted for Elsa's iconic icy white hair and blue dress that we all know and love today. The next character who went through dramatic changes to his look was the Beast. Original concept art shows various depictions of the Beast. The supervisor animator at the time looked to animals for inspiration. For example, a gorilla was used in multiple drawings of the Beast early on. Some of the early designs looked too scary and ferocious and less like a human. The creators wanted to give a more personable feel to the Beast so audiences could understand how Belle could fall in love with him in the first place. Eventually, the look that stayed was inspired by the head of a buffalo, and this is the Beast we know and love today. Next up on the list is the fashionable sea witch herself, Ursula from The Little Mermaid. In early concept art, Ursula was actually depicted as a mermaid right up until the very end. One of Ursula's looks was inspired by a scorpion fish. She was shown as very long, thin, and her complexion very pale, almost like a ghost. She had long green hair and a wicked red and white striped gown. For a touch of creepiness, she was given long, stick-like fingers. At some point, animators made Ursula look like she was part of a motorcycle gang with a pointy pink mohawk. One of the versions of Ursula that stayed for a while was a blonde version of herself with a red and black ensemble, looking very much like the Queen of Hearts but under the sea. The creators probably felt she didn't look villain enough, so they drew her as half octopus with all black outfit and crazy makeup. Ursula was not the only villain whose looks changed dramatically. Maleficent also went through various changes before we got the finished product. One sketch of Maleficent had her with green skin and bug-like antennas. Another sketch of her kept the big antennas but depicted her as an old hag gloved with a falcon on her arm. Eventually, animators settled on the look for Maleficent, but it was the colors that kept changing. Just like the fairies couldn't decide pink or blue for Aurora, animators couldn't decide between red or purple. Can I just say I'm so glad they stuck with this look because she is wickedly glamorous. Our Arabian princess Jasmine had a few changes herself, and so did the plotline. In the original story, Aladdin was trying to make his mother proud, not win over the affection of Princess Jasmine. So Jasmine in early concept art was drawn older and a bit more snooty, not so warm and welcoming as we know her face to be. Her wardrobe changed quite a bit too and was a little bit more conservative than her infamous blue two-piece. One of the early styles of Jasmine showed her in a bright coral pink gown and looking like a bride-to-be. She also rocked an all-purple ensemble at some point as opposed to her all-blue. Last but not least, our favorite mermaid Ariel. In early illustrations of Ariel, she actually looks like the rebellious young mermaid that she turns out to be in the movie. She has long blonde hair and is rocking an all-black edgy attire. Her looks later changed to her bright red hair but in a ponytail, and she is shown wearing blue and yellow as opposed to her popular green and purple. Not only did Ariel look a lot different, but so did Flounder. Well guys, that will conclude our part 1 of Disney characters that changed dramatically before they got to the screen. As always, thanks for being my guest. Until next time.